and welcome to the Paranormal Connection. I'm your host, Donna Wilberg. Well, we are surrounded by numbers, but do you know what they mean? A lot of people don't. So we've invited a numerologist. Her name is Bonnie. She's rockin' awesome, and her little dog, Jack. So welcome, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Well, it's so good to have you. So let's start out talking a little bit about you. How did you get involved in numerology, numbers?
Wow, it happened in 2011 actually. I had somebody ask me about my birth date, and he told me that he had a book he wanted me to look at. It was like his Bible, and that he never loaned it to anybody. And he let me look at it, and it blew my mind. It was basically confirmation of things I couldn't tell you without you thinking something wasn't right upstairs. And so what happened was I felt like I needed to see a psychic, and I actually found a numerologist the next day. Mm-hmm. And it was, wow. Actually, I was in the year of a 7 when I found it, and the year of a 7 is a challenge year. It's about faith, and it's a kind of a hard year. And the gal that I seen wasn't, I was told she wasn't going to be there, and she ended up showing up, so I knew I needed to see her. And she was on a sliding scale. And so I stuck around for an hour and 10 minutes. And when I got in there, it took her about 5 minutes to tell me that, well, basically she accused me of being on vacation and asked me what I was doing and told me I wasn't supposed to be resting in this lifetime. And I didn't get it. I was shocked. And so when I left her, I talked to the creator about it, and I still didn't get it. And probably within a week or two, I had gone down to Granite Bay to my sister's house, and I was laying out, and the next thing I know, it was like a dam breaking. And so I started writing things down, and I couldn't stop. And then all I could do was see and hear numbers. All I could think was numbers and relating to energy. And so I started practicing with people and what I was hearing, and I started scaring people because I was pretty accurate at what I was doing. And then finally I had somebody say to me, "Do you get paid to do that?" And I told her no. And within probably 2 weeks, I had gone into a shop in Placerville where they wanted me there to do numbers. And since then, it's been off the hook. It's been off the hook.
Well, you certainly impressed me the first time I met you. We were at karaoke.
Oh, boy.
And she asked me my birthday, and all of a sudden you started telling me all about myself. And, you know, what a talent, what a gift, you know, to be able to impart that information to people. Because not only is it a validation for you, but it's a validation for the person you're reading as well. I mean,
yeah.
You certainly,
oh, yeah.
Yes, you drew me in. So I'm so happy to have you here. So happy.
I appreciate that.
Well,
thank you so
it's
much.
Good to be here. Well, let's talk. Can we start talking about the numbers, their significance?
Okay.
So people can understand a little bit about numbers before you launch into combining them and what they mean for the person.
Okay. Well, it's the example that I would use is if you've ever met somebody and maybe you think alike and you almost don't have to speak, and that you can finish their sentence, okay? Those would be like minds in numerology. Or somebody that you meet that there's something about them and it doesn't feel right and it's very irritating and you want to get away from them. That would be a challenged energy. And what I do is I can read people's energies. I read by their name, I read by their birth, I tell them their destiny. If it's challenged, what kind of challenges they have. Relationships. I was telling somebody earlier, for example, like Intel, I could go in there and I could look at the names and the birth dates of people and give you probably more information than what they want you to know about them. It's pretty accurate. And for people that are challenged or have challenges in their energy, it's an uncomfortable feeling. They might not know why they're here. Anyway, it's interesting, and if there aren't any challenges, it basically fits like a glove. So it's real interesting to see with people, about people, and even in a name, you know, the vibration of a person's name, of its energy.
So is there a number assigned to specific vibrations?
There is. It goes, actually 0 is an energy. 0 through 9, and 0 would be like a 10, 20, or a 30 birthday, would have an ability to see both sides, They could see something that a person might not be able to see in themselves, whether it's good or bad. They have that ability to do that. According to if it's a 10, 20, or a 30, a 10 would be a mentor, a 20 would be through support, and a 3 would be through communication because they're the counselor. And so 0 has an energy. And 1 is a person that's very competitive, very driven. Those are your pioneers. They start trends. They also have what's called an inner bully. They have a voice that tells them they're not good enough. They've got healing hands. The 2 is a mediator. They loathe conflict. They're peacemakers. They know anything from a dentist to a judge, you know. They're a love number. It's a healing energy. A 3 is communication. It's a performing energy. Those are usually your comedians, the counselor's number. The 4 is the teacher. A plus B equals C. The 5 is about adventure, excitement, adventure. They're here to celebrate. The 6 is the nurturer, the parent. Shot caller, very dynamic energy. They really have to be careful. Everybody should be careful what they put into the universe because it'll manifest. But a 6 is very powerful. So if they think something and they verbalize it, they can bring it. And it's, yeah, very powerful for a 6. A 7 is here about faith. They're actually from another planet. They're here, they're seeking about faith, and they need to be around water because they got busy minds. The 8 is an executive. They're a money number, usually your politician, very black and white energy. They don't get away with anything. The 9 is a humanitarian, and they're about serving. Actually, the 1 pushes all the numbers to be the best they can be. The 9 has lived all the numbers. Your 2 and your 7 are healing energies. 1 is love, 1 is faith, and they're necessary to heal. Your 7 actually is a grudge holder, and forgiveness is necessary to heal. So depending on if you're on the positive or the negative side of your energy, or if you have challenges in your energy, it's very difficult to know why you're here unless you seek to know.
So when you look at a birthday, do you combine all the numbers, or do you go by the day? Do you go by the year?
With the day of birth in 1 digit is the way the world would see you.
Okay.
All right. The attitude would be the month and the day together. That number is what people think they're getting when they meet you. If you take that number and the world number, which right now the world is in a 7, against that, you'll find out what you're vibrating for the year. And every year that will change. Your birth numbers never change. And then with the attitude and the rest of the birthday, 19 whatever or 2000 whatever that you're born, you add it to the attitude number, and that's why you're on the planet. That would be your life path. And when you're doing a reading on an individual, the life path number is the number you want to know. You want to know why you're here and if there's any challenges. And then you find in the name, you find through the vowels, you find the soul. And if that number is challenged, you can't be happy. So you can alter your name, you can alter that energy. The personality comes from the consonants. And if that one's challenged, you're not really showing people who you are. Then you have the combination, which is the power of your name. And the way you find the destiny number is you look at the complete name in 1 digit on the birth certificate. And that would be what you're supposed to do before you leave the planet. So when you're reading an individual, everything is to the life path. And so if the destiny is challenged, you can alter the name to attain the destiny. Otherwise, it doesn't feel right. Like, I'm not supposed to do that. And then the other thing is with people, in couples, parents, kids, whatever, the way you read them is different than the way you read an individual. You read them like this instead of to the life path. So it would be life path to life path, attitude to attitude, birthday to birthday. And anytime you meet somebody that's born on your day of birth, like say you're born on a 9, which that's what I'm born on, all right? I would be connected, the vibration of me would be connected to somebody born on 9, 18, or 27. So what you do is, if it's 2 digits, you add it into 1. And so they're like minds. They think alike, and they're connected. So you feel a part of that person. You feel connected to that person because of that energy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the other thing is, okay, so your natural matches, like minds, Your 157 are your cerebral or your scientific thinkers. They call it the Spock mentality. Your 248 are business-minded energies, and your 369 are your performing energies. So those are like minds. They think alike. And then you have what's called compatible energy. That's where I'm talking to you and you comprehend what I'm saying to you. All right? Then you have what's called challenged energy. So when I would be speaking to you, if you were challenged with me, we'd be butting heads. When we speak, we don't connect. You're not getting what I'm telling you. Or
Wait,
you want to get away.
You're talking about my husband.
That's very possible.
I'm just kidding.
That's very possible. And that's the feeling you would get with a challenged energy.
Like you're speaking different languages.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is, because you think different. You're vibrating different energies. So if you know what you're vibrating, you know, depending on how many challenges you have with another individual, on how difficult the relationship could be to get along. So the book that I study, she talks about, like if you have 2, it's not as much work. If you have 3, it's going to be a job, and any more than 3 is going to be, oh my God. You know, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for you to make it work, you know? So it's pretty interesting, and I can usually tell when I meet somebody pretty quick if they're trying to, you know, see if I'm fake or, you know, because I've had people do that, come to me and want to know if it's hokey, and it really isn't hokey.
Well, how can you be hokey with numbers? They are what they are.
Well, you know.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true, and they've been around a long time.
Yes.
And they do have vibrations. Everything has energy.
Yeah.
Even inanimate objects have energy. Everything is connected. So by reading that, just like a state or a house, like say for example, you're a married woman and you live in the house of a 1. It's really not good for a relationship. You can change the energy of your home. You can actually pull things to you through numbers. If you live in the house of a 1, it's very competitive, it's very driven, it's not into relationship, it's not into couples. So you go more into a 2, and you would change the energy by adding an A to the outside of the door or the inside of the door, knowing this is what you're doing to bring that energy in. Same with the phone. According to whatever number you're vibrating on your phone, on what kind of energy you're going to pull into it.
Whoa.
Placerville is a 7. So Placerville is about faith. And that's, you know, there's a lot of history there, but basically that's what, if you've ever, you've been to Placerville, it's outdoorsy, it's like a meditative place.
So this is the prefix you're talking about, or is it the zip code?
No. You don't add the 916 or the 530 numbers. It's the 7 digits after that you're looking at in 1 digit.
Okay.
And that's going to determine what you're vibrating.
Okay.
And like on an apartment, if it has a letter, you're going to add that to the address. Whatever number that letter is what you're adding to that address.
Wow.
And that's going to, what kind of energy that place is going to vibrate. So it's pretty interesting. And I did a gal in Placerville. She was an older lady, and they have a place in Placerville, and they bought a place out on Happy Valley. Her husband, they'd been together for like 30 years, and her husband had bought her place in Happy Valley, and the address came up to 1. And I told her, I said, this isn't good for your relationship with him. And she goes, it's funny that you say that, because he's really uncomfortable here. So, you know, I mean, when I talk to people, you know, it's pretty accurate. I mean, I think in the time I've been doing it, I might have come across 3 people that they shut down and they don't want to, you know, and then I've come across people that feel like you're invading their privacy, and it's not about that.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, and I respect that. You know, I wouldn't force feed anything to anybody. Actually, I'm a love number, and I really am. And
you're a lovely person too.
well, the thing is, you know, the people of 2, they loathe conflict, but when they do get upset, they're like a volcano erupting, and they literally get sick. But usually your 2s are very supportive, very giving. They're very touchy-feely kind of people. They like hugs and that kind of thing. That's, you know, I got my little love bug on my lap here, you know, and he is nothing but love, and he's very sweet. But, you know, and what I study, it warns you about the kind of people that you're around, because if you're a 2 and you have a tendency to give, there's people that like to take.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, with each number, there's something. you
Yeah.
know, and it's nice to be aware of those things because it's amazing. It's amazing that you can, it's not really see through people, but they go, wow,
Yeah.
like you were saying, wow, dead on,
Yeah.
you know, with that stuff. And it's true.
Well, I have a couple birthdays that I'd like
Okay.
to share with you.
Okay.
The first one is 3/23/49, 1949.
Okay, 23 is a day of a 5. Okay, so anybody born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd, they would be connected. 3 to 5 is 8. Yeah, right, okay. So that's 8, which they don't edit. They pretty much say with no filter, and they like nice things because it's a money number. 8's a money number, the business of money. And it's not about being materialistic. But if you look at the 8 and the 7, the year that we're vibrating, that comes to 15. So that would be a 6. All right. So that would be, this is a year for that person to get married, to have a baby, or to start a business, to trust your gut, possibly signing contracts. It's a very dynamic year. And if you're a shy person, you're going to be magnetic to people. They're going to come to you. You're not going to be able to avoid it. It's going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah. And so what year did you say they were born in?
49.
49. Okay. Anytime you do 9 against another number, it's always the other number. So we're taking 5 and 8, which is, they're a 4. They're a teacher. A plus B equals C. But because their attitude, okay, wait a minute. Their attitude is an 8 and their birthday's a 5. 4 and 8 are natural matches, and 4 and 5 are challenged. So on the birthday, what that means is they say things to baffle people on top of being that 8, right? Because they don't edit, and they kind of just spit things out there. So, you know, you'll be surprised at what comes out of their mouth, like, I can't believe you just said that type of stuff, okay? So that would be a challenge in the birthday area. So when they look at the life path of a 4, they got real busy minds. A plus B equals C. They like to fix things, may not necessarily know how they did it. And when they're looking at that, it might not be 100% to them because of that challenged energy. But yeah, they got real busy minds. They usually don't need a lot of people. And when they know, it's like they pretty much know the truth and sometimes might feel like that they're raining on their parade, but they're really not. And they're usually the ones that don't want to have an argument, but they end up in one kind of thing. For the 4, yeah. So, yeah, the 4 is, I guess they can get down and dirty and clean up real nice. So
Interesting.
that's the 4.
Okay. How about 10/30/67?
Okay, the 30 birthday. Okay, so the 3 is a communication, so this person is the counselor. And because of the 0 energy in their birthday, they have that ability to see things in other people that they may not be able to see in themselves. And so they're going to tell you through communication. That's the counselor. It's like give you advice, okay? And you said 10/30, so that's a 4 attitude. And 7, which is 11, which would be the year of a 2, which is this is the year that they're nurturing relationships. You know, this is a year to nurture relationships for that person. And what year?
67.
67. Okay. 5 and I forgot the attitude number.
10/30.
Okay, which
67.
is a 4. Okay, now I got to go back. Okay, so we're looking at a 4 attitude and a 67, right? Okay, so that would be a 5 and a 4. That's an old soul. That's a humanitarian. They're about serving others. That's why they're on the planet. They're here to give back to humanity. And the 4 is a challenge. The attitude number is a challenge to the 9. The 9, people usually trust them. They can look up to them. They can tell them things that they normally wouldn't tell other people. They don't like to ask for help. They can have family issues. They definitely feel responsible for their family. Because they're challenged in the attitude, because 4 and 9 are not okay together, that means that people don't know what they're getting when they meet this person. So,
Wow.
yeah. So it's interesting. So they have one challenge there, you know, and it's pretty interesting and they're very psychic. This 9 has lived all the energies, so they're very psychic.
Okay.
So
Can you believe we've only got 5 minutes left in the show, Bonnie? I don't want to let you go. But let's give your information so people know how to get in touch with you, because it'd be great to have people call you for a reading.
Okay, well, I'm in Placerville, and I'm on Main Street. Actually, I read in different locations. I've got a few people that are wanting me to come there to read. I'm back in the Creekside Mall behind the lighthouse at Hygeia's Corner and the Trading Post, anywhere all the way back to the Levy restaurant back in between there.
Okay.
And then the Heart Lounge just opened up on Main Street next to the Carriage House. I can be there. There's just,
Okay.
I'm known up and
so
down Main
people
Street.
can call you?
Yes.
They can call you. Where's the number they can call
Okay,
you?
it's 530-957-4509. I can do readings over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I can meet with you. It doesn't matter either way. All I need is the information, and then,
Sweet.
yeah,
Good.
not a problem.
Okay. Well, let's give a little bit of information about the Paranormal Connection.
The Paranormal Connection airs the first and third Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our companion show, Story Connection, airs the second and fourth Thursdays of each month. Each episode repeats the following Friday at 1:30 p.m. and Saturday at 5:30 a.m. Watch these programs online at the same air times by going to accesssacramento.org and clicking Watch 17. In the Sacramento region, you can see us on Comcast Channel 17 and on AT&T Channel 99. You can find previously aired shows on the Paranormal Connection YouTube channel. For information on upcoming shows and previous Paranormal Connection guests, go to paranormalconnectiontv.blogspot.com. You can contact us at paranormalconnectiontv@gmail.com. And don't forget, find us on Facebook, become a friend, and become a fan.
Okay.
Bonnie, you've got something you'd like to share with us. Why don't we?
You had asked me about the year, or the world. You had asked me something about the world. Well, the world is in the year of a 7. It's a time to look inside. It is a time for widespread communication. If you are somebody who normally talks a lot, this is a year you might just want to write your thoughts down. If you're somebody who asks those big questions, who am I, what am I, and why am I here, in this cycle of the 7, you can get those answers. This year is a test of your faith. It is about true spirituality. You will grow inwardly in this cycle. We will be dealing with seemingly endless conflicts in the Middle East, but looking at them in a different way. This is a year about raising our consciousness as a people and realizing that the whole planet needs to treat each other as one. When one person dies, we all die a little. An irreplaceable part of the life chain is gone. The year of a 7 is a time when we recognize that war is not the answer. For those who have a base of faith, your most fervent prayers could be answered. For those who aren't sure if there is a God, this is a time to look in the possibility of a higher power. You are not alone. Listen to your heart. That quiet voice within can be made stronger by meditation, yoga, and being one with nature. Try to be outdoors more, and especially near the water. By year's end, we will have learned a lot about how connected we all are to each other as people, as well as to our wondrous planet. The world will come to understand the truth about violence. When we hurt somebody, it's like a boomerang. It will come right back on us. In the world of a 7, we realize that we must take the steps toward a just and lasting peace. Our very survival depends on it.
Wow. That is powerful. And we're starting to see a little bit of that, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. All right, we've got a couple more minutes. I have one more birthday for you.
Okay.
9486.
Okay, the 4 is the teacher. It's a double 4. So they're also in the year of relationships, which is a year of a 2. And you said what year?
86.
86. Okay, so 6 and 4 is a number 1. The world is their oyster. They can pretty much do whatever they want. They can get involved in bad business and land on their feet. Occasionally, they need to listen. They have what's called an inner bully, or a voice that tells them they're not good enough. They're very competitive and driven. They're pioneers. They start trends. They've also got healing hands. So we need those people to move forward, and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome. So the 1-4, oh my, double 4. Ooh. challenged. Both numbers are challenged. They're very intense. The 8 or the double 4 is very intense, and the 1 and the 4s are not okay together. So when we read this person, there's a challenge inside. There's a conflict because there's 2 out of 3 numbers that are challenged. So it's
Wow.
difficult to read this person.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're feeling like uneasy inside. There's probably like an eruption to
Yeah.
them inside of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, once they know that, hopefully they can get into acceptance of it, you know, and then maybe to look at the destiny and see what's going on there if it's challenged, to maybe do something with the name to alter it so that they can attain what it is they're here for.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. We've only got a minute. Is there any, little tiny words that you want to impart to the audience real quick?
Really quick.
Okay.
And I just lost my place. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh. It's the year it went from 99 to 2000. It talked about that, and I thought I was out of time here, so I'm going to, I don't know where it's at. Anyway, because of the millennium changing, or 1900s, like 1999 was a year of a 1, because 1 and 9 is 1. We're in the 2000th century, okay, so it's about love and peace now. And what I had read, it talked about men being able to cry and having it being okay. So more peace and more love and acceptance, because it's a love number. The 2000 millennium, when it changed to the 2, that's what it's about, that energy.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you to my fabulous crew. And we have to wrap it up. So we'll do this again, okay?
Sounds great.
All right. Good night, everybody, and thank you.